Ready for a riveting video on converting between decimals, percents, and fractions? Here we go. All right, so let's start with percents. If I have something like 30%, percent means per 100. Per 100. Okay, so 30 for every 100. So if it's 30 for every 100 per 100, that can easily be switched to a fraction, 30 out of 100, 30 per 100. Okay, and then your test might ask you to simplify this. So to simplify 30 over 100, we can divide by 10, giving us 3/10. Okay. Remember that when you're simplifying fractions, whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom, and vice versa. Converting a percent to a decimal, if you think of it as the fraction 30 100ths, that's the same as 30 100ths. Okay, 30 hundredths, see? Okay, even when you simplified it and it was 3/10, that's the same as 3/10. Another way that you can do it is whenever you have a percent and you're going to decimals, all you do is move your decimal 2 spots. Okay, so then 30% is the same as 0.3. Okay, what if it was 45%? 45%. Again, percent per 100, so 45 hundredths is the same as 45 hundredths. Okay, and then you could simplify this one. We can't divide it by 10 this time, but could we divide it by 5? Wrong symbol. Could we divide it by 5? I think so. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. 9/20ths. Okay, what if we don't start with a percent? What if we start with a decimal? Okay, like I was saying before, you just shift it 2 spots, shift the decimal point 2 spots. So instead of shifting it to the left, we're going to shift it to the right. So it would be 29%. You could also think of it as 29 hundredths and go to fraction form first. 29 per 100, 29 hundredths, 29%. What if we start with a fraction? That might be the trickiest. Okay, if I start with a fraction that has a 10 or a 100 on the bottom, it's a lot easier. But if it has like a 5 or a 4 or something else on the bottom, then it gets trickier. If it has a 10 on the bottom, all I need to do is multiply it by 10, like unsimplifying it, to get it to have 100 on the bottom. Okay, if it has 100 on the bottom, it's easily converted to percent because percent is per 100, so this would be 90%. If it starts with 100 on the bottom, 80 out of 100, converting it to percent. Percent means per 100, so 80%. Let's do the trickier ones though, okay? If it has something that's not 10 or 100 on the bottom, you still need to try to get it to the point of having 100 on the bottom. That's when it's going to be easiest to change it to decimal or percent. So what do I need to do? What do I need to multiply 2 by to get to 100? Oh, I could multiply it by 50, couldn't I? 2 times 50 is 100. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. times 50. 1 times 50 is 50. 50 100ths is 50%. What about something like 4/5? Again, I'm trying to get it to 100. If it's easier for me to try to get to 10 first, I could do that. Okay, it seems a lot easier for me to get to 5 to 10 before I'm going straight to 100. So 5 to 10, what do I need to multiply it by? 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 4 times 2 is 8. Now, can I get it to be 100 on the bottom? Ooh, I know 10 times 10 is 100. Whatever you do to the bottom, do to the top. 8 times 10 is 80. 80 100ths. If it's 80 100ths or hundredths, I know that that easily goes to, oops. Oh, that's right. 80 hundredths. And I also know that it goes to 80%. All right, well, I hope that this has made converting between percents and decimals and fractions easier for you. Let me know if you need more help.